Great. As far as the situation is here in Germany, we have a pretty bad lockdown right now. We can't do anything. The good thing is that the stores are open, but I think the whole social life is come to a point, like it's everything is down. So yeah, it's a quite strange situation again. I thought that we made it in during the summer, but right now it's getting worse and worse. And the lockdown. I think you guys in England have the lockdown too, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm actually in Wales, which is slightly outside of England, so I'm not in lockdown. England is. It's quite weird because we have obviously different rules depending on which country you're in. But yes, in general, we're very much the same as you in terms of what we can and can't do. Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. It's strange.
Okay. Yeah. It is strange times indeed.
Yeah.
So, if we start with the fact that you are now back with Accuser after 9 years, I think it is.
More, almost 11 years.
11,
almost 11.
Right.
Almost, yes.
Sure. So a lot of people who will listen to this will know who the band are, but will be interested to know how you've returned to Accuser after that period of time. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got back into the band?
Yes. I think at that time when I was out of the band, which is, as I already told, almost 11 years ago, it was a very bad situation for all of us, especially for me. I had a very bad time during that time period because when I was out of the band, we had a lot of arguing and a lot of bad words were said. And the situation was very strange, and we had definitely hadn't any contact for years.
Yeah.
For about four or 5 years, but Accuser was always be a big part of my life, of my musical life, and I always when I look back to that situation, I look back to the older days. It always hurts, and it was like I have the hope to return sometimes. Probably it will happen, probably not, but I always had that in mind. And after that 5 years without any contact, Frank, our singer and songwriter, called me someday, and not that he wanted me to be back in the band, but just to keep the friendship up again.
Yeah.
And that was the first step, and it was very great because Frank and me, we have been really one of the best buddies you can imagine. And then was that arguing and that fighting and stuff, and then he gave me a call after years and said, hey, come on, let's talk about all that shit, and let's talk about all the situation and try to work on it. And at that time we got more and more in contact, and the friendship built up again.
Yeah.
So and because of that contact, I always was, I've always watched what the Accuser was doing during that time. And last year in August, Frank gave me another call and told me that the Dennis, the actual guitar player, would not able to play a show. It was a festival, and he asked me if I would like to do that for him, just as the replacement for that show.
Yeah.
So and I was like, yes, definitely, that's could be the chance for me, and it really happened, and we did the show, and the spirit was back. Definitely, it was like I've never been out of the band. We played the show, and after the show, we shook hands. And they asked me if I would like to do it forever and to play in the band again. And I was really like, yes, it happened. So and I'm very, very glad that that situation came like it is right now.
Yeah. And I think people that know you from your earlier music, from the band, the album like Who Dominates Who and things like that, will recognize that your playing on the new album is very it's very easy to identify. People hear it. I heard it and thought, yeah, I can see where the difference is between the last album and that your style is there. Yeah. When you got back with the band and you started to record, what was the feeling like when you got back in? Because of course you knew the other Frank, and you knew Ollie as well from previously. So was it like just coming home again?
Yes, definitely. It was like coming home again because the studio works and even the songwriting process and stuff. It was almost, as I already told, almost as I've never been back. So it was a great situation for all of us because let me say before the songwriting process was almost done when I came back in the band. So the things that I have done on the new record were just little fine tuning and doing the leads and doing harmonies and doing some details in it. But the working in the studio, when I was back in the studio and we recorded the record, that was definitely like coming home. The situation was a little bit different because technical wise there changed a lot of things since the 19th and the year 2020. All things were digital now, so I think the working process as itself on the technical way was different than it has been 20 years before. But it was definitely much very great feeling to be in the studio with the guys and doing the songs and recording the songs that we wrote and we put a lot of energy and a lot of power in it before and in the songwriting process, and we rehearsed all the stuff and tried to keep it as perfect as it's possible, and that was the good thing when we went in the studio because we were really well prepared, and so it went pretty fast. Although we had a recording period from about I think 3 weeks or 4 weeks, but the instruments itself they were pretty well prepared, and the recording process from the instruments were pretty short. I think the rhythm guitars were done in 3 days. Yes, all the leads were done in 1.5 days, and it was like just working step by step, and it was really well prepared, and it worked. So
great. I mean, the result is a very, very fine record, if I may say. So I was just going to ask, in terms of the actual sound on the album, some of the reviews I've read, and I think I'd agree with them, suggest that the album actually kind of is a combination of styles from a lot of the albums. So there's bits of all the different sounds that Accuser have had over the years. Would you agree that it's kind of, I don't know if it's deliberate to get that sound or whether it just comes naturally, but it does sound like a bit of old stuff, bit of new, it's all in there together and it's really good.
I think it comes naturally. It was not definitely like we said on the table and talk about how should the new record should sound. It was like it just happened, and it's true, and that's the reason why we decided to call the album just Accuser, because I think for us it is like we made the essence on this record of all what Accuser is all about. It's all a lot of things which could have been on the past albums. There are things on it which sound like Accuser is right now, but there are things on it which could show like what Accuser will be in the future. And I'm back in the band, so I think the feeling was just perfect in that way, and that was the feeling or the decision for us just to call the album Accuser because yes.
Yeah, sure. Now, I think if I'm right, Frank does most, if not all, of the lyrics. Is that right when he writes, or do you all have an input in that?
No, that's Frank's matter. Most of the things is Frank's matter. He's have his ideas, his lyric ideas, what he would like to sing about, or what he would like to accuse, and you write it. And he has a girlfriend who's an English teacher, and then they sit together and he's telling the ideas, and she makes it in the English consonants. So but I think lyrical wise and the themes where he's singing about this is most of the stuff is Frank's matter.
Sure. Yeah. And are you a typical guitarist that is more interested in the music that you play rather than the words that the vocalist sings, or do you feel that you have to agree with what Frank sings about, or are you more concerned with playing the guitar?
No, I think not to say that the Accuser is a political band, but I think he makes a lot of thoughts about environment, politics, and stuff. And if I wouldn't agree with his statements, I think it would be hard for me to play in a band where the singer sings about things I do not agree with,
Sure.
you know, and so it's like we have discussions and we're talking about things, and it's always that we have in the most points we have the same opinion,
Yeah.
and really for me it would be very hard to be in a band which I could not agree with the things. So.
No, I'm glad to hear that. I know that that's what I'd like to hear from people that I admire as players.
Okay.
So tell me about. I think this was the first time you worked with Martin Buchwalter.
For me, yes.
Yeah, I know
Yes.
the band have worked with him before, but obviously for you were working with someone that they knew.
Yes.
What kind of challenges does that present for you? Was it okay working with him? Was it easy?
It was very, very easy. He's such a professional guy, and he's such a nice guy. Even if you sit there and doing mistakes or sometimes things going wrong, and we worked in the past with some guys who were get angry about it and stuff. But he's so into himself, and he's so friendly that to work with him is, you know, it's not really like a work. It's like just sitting there doing music. And if there's something wrong with what I did towards the harmonies or the leads or something, he is like, hey Renee, check that again. It's good, but I think it could be a little bit better. And so that way, and it was very, very easy and very, very relaxed to work with him. Very, very nice guy.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
So Frank has been quoted as saying that it was the slower parts of the record that were the hardest bits to record. And
yes.
is that for the band as a whole, or was that just for him, or was it for everyone?
Well, it just depends. I think it's a common thing that it's easy to get the effect when you play very, very fast and play 109 miles an hour. So like all that speed stuff. Mm-hmm. This is very easy to record and to create the feeling you want, because it's fast. It should be aggressive and fast, and that's what these parts are doing. But if you slow down a little bit, sometimes it could be a little bit difficult to show your real intentions you want to have with the slow parts. So I think aggression is very easy to display, but emotions and slow down and harmonies and stuff, we have to focus a little bit on it. It's really it's a little bit more difficult than just playing full stuff. So
sure. And the recording itself, did you do it whilst the coronavirus had started? So was there challenges around when you recorded it, or had you done it before it happened?
Really exact before, because we had it was on the point. We finished the recording, and 2 days later we have the lockdown and the coronavirus thing started. So that we had luck with that timing. Very, very, very great luck, because if we had a delay, perhaps for a week or something, I think we didn't finish the album. So it was great.
Great. So the album's been out for 2 weeks tomorrow, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I've obviously heard it, and I've reviewed, and it's brilliant.
Okay.
How pleased are you with the reviews? Because an Accuser album is something that people that really enjoy their thrash celebrate. Have you had really good reviews from it? Anything that's been interesting?
Yes, we had almost good reviews, the best reviews. Sure, it's not possible if you do any kind of arts, if you are a musician or if you're a painter or anything, to please everybody. It's no chance. There are always people definitely who won't like it, and we had some, especially at the Amazon part. You can give reviews at Amazon and stuff, and there were some bad things written about the record, but I think the most people we are talked with and the most magazines and stuff, they are I think always good reviews for the record.
Good. So if I could just talk a little bit about you for a moment. Obviously you're a ferociously good guitarist, but how did you start off? Who were the people that you heard and thought, that's what I want to do? Who were the influences?
Yes, it's definitely exactly one record which I was like in. I want to play guitar like these guys, and that was Argus from Wishbone Ash.
Okay.
That was definitely my dad is a guitar player too, and he bought all the records, all that prog stuff from the 70s, and I always heard the things. First time I was interested, but never meant like to be that I pick up the guitar myself and play. But that was Argus from Wishbone Ash. Mm-hmm. I was blown away by all these twin lead and these medieval feelings and stuff. And I heard that later at the first two Iron Maiden albums, and that was when I tried to play all the early Maiden stuff.
Yeah.
I'm totally into that harmony style and into that melodic kind of music involved even in thrash bands. Mm-hmm. I think it's very good for all kinds of music. If you have an intention like being aggressive, it's just so long aggressive as you have another part in it. If you're doing an album which is just from A to Z, just like going on full speed, I think it's losing. And if you break that off with nice melody parts with leads and melodies and slow down a little bit, the more heavier the record comes again to get aggressive. And Adrian Smith once said that for him is a good guitar solo if you can whistle to it or whistle along with it. And I think it's true. I think you have to have harmonies in it which keep in mind. And I think it's relatively easy to play very fast, and the people are totally into it and say, oh, that guy can play very, very fast. But that is what a lot of guys do. I think it's very important to break that off with harmonies and nice things. Not everybody likes it, but it's my kind to play guitar.
Brilliant. So when you started with Accuser, you'd already played with Frank in another band, hadn't you?
Yes.
For a couple of years before. Mm-hmm. And forgive me for my poor German geography, but you're not in the same region as Creator, Sodom and Destruction, are you? They're over in the Ruhr, and you're more in the you're in the Rhine area, is that right?
Not really. We it's nearly the Rhine area. It's the town Siegen, which is it's hard to explain. It's about the Rhine area, which is Cologne, for example. We are 80 kilometers away from Cologne.
Okay. So when you started Accuser, obviously you had the what they call the big three, the big three German thrash bands that were probably, when did you start Accuser? 1986, 87, something like this,
yes.
So those bands were already quite established. They were on their third or fourth albums. Did you look to them for influences at the time? Were they bands that you were aware of? Did you know of them?
We know them, and we had the opportunity to play with them a few shows.
Yeah.
In the past, but it was never really an influence because they had their typical style, which is called the Titanic
Yeah.
thrash metal, something like that. I don't know exactly. And that is definitely not that what we wanted to do. Our focus was more overseas, the Bay Area thrash scene, like bands like Accuser, Forbidden, and stuff. That was the things that we had in mind, and we didn't want to copy these bands, but we love the spirit and we love the sound of the bands, and that's what we would like to create, something like that. So we never saw ourselves as a genre or tectonic thrash band. We had a lot of different and other influences. Especially Frank. Frank, he was more like at that time more like the hardcore guy, and so I was, as I already told, the Iron Maiden guy, and that fits together with the Bay Area spirit, and that was the way we worked at these days.
What about today? What kind of music do you listen to on a daily basis as a musician? Do you listen to lots of new stuff? Do you stick to the old school? What's your daily routine?
It's not easy to say. I'm 52 years old right now, and I think you're getting older, and you got more and more influences. And at that time when we formed, there was a lot of thrash metal hearing, but that has definitely changed at these days. I'm listening a lot of the old stuff what I grew up with. As I said, the old Wishbone Ash stuff and Jethro Tull. I'm a very big Jethro Tull fan. Yeah. What I got right now for me is all the Beatles stuff. That's what I'm listening to. And when I'm at home cooking, talking to my family and stuff, we never heard metal music. Just do it when I'm writing songs, or when there's a new record that's coming out, especially the last Testament record. That was a record that I was listening a lot to. Or even the last Exhorter record, something like that. If bands like these are releasing records, I'm listening a lot to them. But when I'm at home and when I'm practicing guitar and just sitting on the sofa and playing guitar, it's the most time it's not really metal. It's all the 70s stuff.
No, nothing wrong with that whatsoever. You have a whole 2 years ahead of me, so I listen to very similar stuff a lot of the time.
Okay.
So just a couple of final ones, if it's all right, René. You haven't obviously played live for a good while now as a band. Did you have plans to play live this year that have been put on hold?
We have plans, definitely. I haven't played with the band live. There was that one show where I replaced Dennis. That was last year in August, and we did that. We did that streaming thing, which Thrash in a Box, which was streamed on YouTube. So these were definitely the only both shows I did with the band, and we have plans definitely. And we had a lot of festivals this year, which are all cancelled. And if everything is going as we would like to, then these festivals are going to be repeated. The next year, but I don't think so. As things develop right now, I really do not see that there are big change will be big changes next year. Perhaps smaller things and smaller venues, but I don't think that the big festivals will happen next year.
Sure, I think you're probably right, but it's a real shame. And you obviously are missing playing live, I would imagine.
I hated not playing live. I think this is the essence of all things. Hanging with the guys, drinking some beers, playing live, and doing shows, meet other bands, have social contacts. That's the main thing of it, the social contacts. And nothing of this will happen these days. And I'm a little bit afraid of that this is gonna be normality in the future, because everything is turning right now. We have homeschooling, home office, home things, home bed. I don't know. So your whole life is gonna be fixed right now in your own four walls and a monitor. And I really hope that this will not turn to normality.
Yeah, I think we all agree with that, and certainly anyone that loves live music is desperate to get back, but obviously wants to do it safely. So
yes, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, hopefully, if you do get the plans to tour and the opportunity comes, we'll actually finally see you over in the UK, because it would be really good to see Accuser over here, if you even if it's just for a festival show or something.
Yes, we would like to. We would like to. If someone calls us and say, "Hey guys, you can do a show in the UK or can do some festivals," we'll be there definitely.
Brilliant. Yeah. Okay, Rene, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you. I know it's taken us a little while to get this organised, but I do appreciate your time, and it's been a real pleasure. And your English is a damn sight better than my German.
Thank you very much.
You take care, and we'll see you again soon. All right.
Okay, see you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.